Hey, I'm only here for 5 more weeks. It's about time for a K-time. Hey everyone, so I realize it's been a really long time since I talked to you last, which is lame. Haven't made a video since my Safari way back when. So after GCOM and my Safari, I just kind of went into this blah state of like relaxing and getting over all of that work that had happened. And then all of a sudden my body got into this like, GCOM's over, so now it's time to go home. And I'm like, no, we're still here for a few more months. My body was like, no, we're going home. And then around that time, wonderful Ann Turner of Grants Pass, Oregon, messaged me and was like, hey, Rachel, Rogue Music Theater is going to be doing Fiddler on the Roof next summer. Would you direct it? My dream show? Yes. And then it got me even more excited for going home and thinking more about home and being home. And so I got really homesick. It was really hard. But then also, Julissa and I started rehearsals for Night Mother, which is a play about depression and suicide. And after every performance, a group called Mental 360, which is a mental health organization, is going to lead talkbacks with the audience, talking about, so this is what depression is, yes, it's a disease, seek help, and then point the audience members towards areas where they can get help, how they can get counseling, and rehearsals for that started around that time. And then I also held auditions because I'm directing a show at Mamlaka Chapel, the church where Julissa and her family and myself for the past several months attend. And they have a drama team there, and we held auditions for a play, and that happened. So between rehearsals for Night Mother and rehearsals for directing the play Christmas Dreams, I kind of have gotten out of my homesickness. Summer has finally arrived. It's been cold like the entire time I've been here, and I guess now you all watching this in Oregon, most of you anyway, I'm sure things have started to cool off. Well, as things have cooled off, things have heated up. But let me tell you about the Kenyan sun, because the sun here is very different than the sun in Oregon. Because you see, the sun here is on the equator, so number one, it's a lot more intense. And also, since we're in Nairobi, we're over 5,000 feet. So like the difference between being in the sun and being in the shade is like 10 degrees. It's pretty crazy. This is my plant. Someone had cut it down and was like throwing it away, but then I was like, oh, I want to save a little fragment of it and plant it. And that's what I did. And so now it is growing here. And it's got all these new leaves, and it's growing so much, and it's so happy. And it makes me happy, but I need to leave it behind because I don't think I could take plants from Kenya back to America. The other thing that happened here, which was really interesting, was there was a gas crisis, which isn't a thing in America. Like in America, like gas prices will go up, and gas will be more expensive. But here in Kenya, if they have a gas strike, then there's no gas. So there was some sort of bill or something that was tabled or something, and it wasn't getting figured out, and so the people delivering the gas just like refused to deliver gas until that all was settled on the government level. And so the gas wasn't delivered to gas stations, so you couldn't find gas. So I was riding home one day from rehearsal, and my driver needed gas, and we went by like 7 gas stations, and they were all dry. There was just no gas, which I never experienced before. It was very interesting. It's like, what do you do when there's no gas anywhere? So that's I think pretty much over by now. The gas prices are still really expensive, but that was interesting to experience. Ways you can be praying. Please pray for Night Mother, that it would go well, that we would have tons of people come, and that all our shows would be sold out, that this play would create awareness, that it would spark some movements with people to help their neighbors, help their friends, help their family members, and for those who need help, that they would go and seek it. Also, if you could pray for me as I continue to direct Christmas dreams, that I would have patience and that I'd get everywhere that I need to go, and that it would go well. In light of the fact that it is so hot here in Kenya, I'm going to teach you the Swahili for hot, which is moto. Hot. How are you today? Moto. I'm hot, okay? It's hot. Love you all. Goodbye. I'll see you next time. I'll probably do one more video before I leave here. So this is probably my second to last video. It's kind of crazy to think about. If you want a present, you better message me.